Alright, hey guys, it's TJ and welcome back to another video. So, today I have a very trying tale. And this isn't for the faint of heart, alright guys? This story includes suffering, and death, and loss, and tragedy. Alright, but for those of you who have the stomach to make it through this hard story, I hope it'll be entertaining. I'll just give you guys a second to prepare yourselves mentally, maybe sit down, maybe, find something that makes you happy, because this story, it really hurts, right here. So anyway, our tale begins on a Monday. It begins on a school day, and I was just sitting in class. It was a normal day, I was just chilling in English class. We were watching Romeo and Juliet, and we had watched it like time and time again. Like we were watching 3 different versions of the same exact book. So I was like, I've seen this, I know what's gonna happen, it's just slightly different characters and all that, same script, it'll be fine. So I pull out my phone, I'm a little bit bored, I'm just looking at memes, that's all it is. And I thought it was completely harmless. I'm just, I'm in English class, we're watching a movie, we're not doing an assignment, we're literally just watching a movie. So I'm just scrolling through memes, looking at my phone. Where is my phone, now that okay, well, Oh, Donald, what were you, man. Silly Donald, always taking my phone. Gosh dang it, Donald. He does that all the time, He's such a prankster. Nah, just kidding. It was charging. I plugged it in and then I forgot and started searching around my house for my phone. And it was just right there by the wall. Anyway, got a little bit sidetracked there. So yeah, I thought it was harmless. I was just scrolling through, looking at memes, looking at Instagram. What's the worst that could happen? Little did I know the pain and suffering that it would bring about for the next 24 hours. I had heard stories. I had heard rough stories. You hear of just hours and hours of boredom and suffering and torture. You hear stories of purgatory and all this other stuff where it's just pure torture, prison, pure torture. But nothing could have prepared me for this. My whole life was about to change in that exact instant. And you might think I'm being over dramatic. I'm not, alright guys? You don't even know. So I was looking at memes, happy as can be, I was content with life. And this oncoming storm of hatred and darkness approached me. And for the purpose of this story, we'll just call her Mrs. McGriddle, because that's what I had for breakfast. So this oncoming storm of darkness and hatred approached me, Mrs. McGriddle. And she rips the phone from my hand. And no, I'm not being over dramatic about that. Like, I know I've been over dramatic this entire voice cracks. Woo! But anyway, I know I've been over dramatic this entire story, but this is not an over exaggeration. She literally grabbed the phone and went, whoa! She didn't act like, most teachers are like, okay, give me the phone. She didn't do that. She literally, without saying a word, just walked up to me all mad and angry, and then just went and ripped it from my hand. So I'm looking at memes as happy as can be, and she's and rips it from my hands. So then I look up, and she walks over to her desk, and she's like, and this is not an over-exaggeration either, to the entire class, stands by her desk, and she's like, I'm done with the phones, I don't want to see your phones. If I see them out, I'm taking them, alright? I'm sick and tired of the phones. Just went off on the entire class, and my immediate thought was oh my god, maybe a phone killed her family or something. Maybe one night when she was just a child, a phone snuck into her house and took everything she loved, and so now she's triggered by phones. Anytime she sees a phone, it's just she has a third eye, I swear. She's looking at her desk the moment you check the time, you're just oh, let me, I wonder what time it is, I wonder when class gets out, and you check the time, she's just sniffs it out and just freaking lunges at you, punches you in the face a couple times, takes it, and if you're still holding on to the phone, she doesn't care. She just holds on to the phone and starts whiplashing you around until you let go, and then she goes back to being old and feeble as soon as she has the phones back. I swear, dude, Anyway, back to the story. So, she takes the phone, rips it out of my hand, gives this whole speech to the entire class. I'm done with the phones, guys. Don't want to deal with this anymore. And then, someone else was on their phone, and she, marches over to them and takes it from them, too. She doesn't, most teachers, give me the phone now, or put it away, affirm and stuff. But not, she doesn't ask for it. She just, she doesn't ask for it, guys. She doesn't care if she breaks your finger. That phone is hers. And so she eventually she had this pile of 4 phones, just she was walking around, went back to her desk, and she was like, you're gonna watch Romeo and Juliet, and you're gonna like it. And her eyes go all red and glowy, and everything gets all dark. That's what happens whenever she talks. After she took it, she takes it, goes up to the front of the class, the lights dim, and her eyes start glowing red, and she's like, it was intense, guys. No exaggeration. I think a tail might have sprouted and some horns too. I don't know. It was dark. I wasn't looking. But anyway, back to the main storyline. And I was chill about it. I was like, well, that kind of sucks, but I'll just get it back. So, we finished watching the movie. I'm bored out of my mind, but I'm like, what's worse that can happen? I'll get it back. So I go up to her and I talk to her. So I go up to her and I'm like, hey, and without, that's all literally I said. I was like, hey. I don't even know if I said hey. I might have said nothing. Either way, all I did was walk up and was very calm and polite. And she was like, you're not getting this back until the end of the day. You can get it from the front office. I was like, and like I'm like keeping my cool, because that's my favorite thing to do, is when someone else is like overreacting, you gotta keep your cool to make them look like the bad guy. It's the best ever. She's like, you can get it back at the end of the day. I was like, okay, I know. I was just wondering what office I get it from. And she was like, the main office, front office. So she's all like mad and expecting me to be like, give me my phone, like something intense, because you know she deals with a bunch of teenagers. I'm sure she expected, you know, some intense fight, but I was like okay, thank you, and like walked away. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I'll get it at the end of the day. It's fine, it's whatever. So I go throughout my day, you know, pretty bored, but by that point it was already halfway. So then the end of school finally arrives. I'm like, oh, I can get my phone back. Like, thank the Lord. Woo! Thank the Lord, Donald, for letting me get my phone back. Yes. Thank you. So I go up to the front office. I was like, hey, my English teacher took my phone. I was wondering if I could get it back. And they're like, okay, what's your name? I tell them. They search up. They're like, oh, this is your second offense. A parent's going to have to come and get it. And I was like, ugh. I knew this wasn't going to be good because I have track practice, right? So think about it like this. I have track practice right after school. I need my parents to come pick up my phone, but the office closes at 3 o'clock. Track doesn't end until like 4 o'clock. So I'm like, okay, my parents need to come and get it. But how am I supposed to tell them to come and get it earlier than 4 o'clock? Because they're going to pick me up at 4 from track. So somehow I have to tell my parents, who both have jobs, you know, they're both working. They can't just leave work and like go get my phone and come pick me up early, but I don't have a phone to do it. So I call them, neither of them answer. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So then I use one of my friend's phone to text them, like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I run track practice. By the time my parents get here, and like I was talking in the office, I was like, there's nothing I can do. Like, it's gonna be stuck here. And they're like, well, I'm sorry, you can talk to your parents if you want to, but they have to come and get it. And I'm like, but they can't, because the office closes at 3 o'clock. They don't get here until 4 o'clock. Ah! So I start panicking, and like, because I know what's gonna happen. I know what this means. So my dad is like, okay, I'll go pick up the phone. But of course, I text him the wrong time. I was using my friend's phone, and I accidentally text, hey, the office closes at 4, so make sure you get here before then. I meant 3. So he gets here, the office is closed, so my phone is just locked in there like a prison, alone in the dark with no one to use it. How am I supposed to look at memes without my phone? So I go home, phoneless. I'm like, okay, we can make it 24 hours without a phone. How bad could it be? Little did I know. I was so bored. I was bored out of my mind. You never realize how much you use your phone until it's gone. Like checking the time. I had no idea what time it was half the time. No memes. I couldn't look at YouTube without going and looking at my computer. I couldn't watch Doctor Who. Like all these things that I do, I can't do it without my phone. So I started like breaking down. I was having an anxiety attack because I'm like disconnected from the world, right? And so I was disconnected from all my friends, disconnected from the world. So I started having like anxiety, and I'm like it was not a good time, guys. It was a really dark time in my past. And so I'm like, okay, I need to calm down. How do I do it? So I just end up watching Bob Ross. I swear, Bob Ross can calm anybody, all right? Bob Ross can calm anybody. So I was like, okay, Bob Ross, please, I need your help. So I watched Bob Ross on this computer and listened to his soothing voice. I don't even paint, but Bob Ross, like, he calmed me down. I was like, okay, I can do it. I can just make it 12 more hours without my phone. I was so bored. Like, I went to bed at like a really early hour because like there's nothing to do. Like if I'm in bed, I can't like look at my phone until a certain time. I just sit in bed and go to bed. Like, how did the ancient people, before the iPhone was invented, what did people do with their lives? I don't understand. Like, how did my parents survive? Or like before even computers, like what do you do? Like, no Bob Ross to calm you down, no memes, no Netflix. I don't know how they survived. I barely survived myself, guys. Basically, I'm just really addicted to my phone and I didn't realize it until it was gone. But the next morning, we had to leave super early so my mom could get to work. But we get there, we get my phone, and they're like, okay, here's your phone. Next time, there's gonna be serious consequences. And it was a fairly easy process. My mom didn't know it was the second offense. So when they were like, okay, this is his second offense, so that's why we require a parent to come and get it, she like looked at me and was like, excuse me? And I got my phone back, and I just felt so relieved. You guys don't understand. It's like, I feel like that's what withdrawals are. Like when someone's doing drugs and like they don't have it, and then they finally get hooked up and they're like, oh my god, thank the Lord. I think I have a problem, guys. So please donate to phoneaddiction.org to help me. Just kidding. I don't own that website. Basically, I have a problem, guys. I need to get over it. Mrs. McGriddle, truly an evil person. God dang it, Mrs. McGriddle. I hope you guys enjoyed that story. I sure enjoyed telling it. But yeah, it was a really rough time. I was going through like anxiety. Like it was rough. But you know, we're here now. I finally have my phone. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time. Have an awesome day. Bye!